was smart.
We're live. So hi everyone, this is the team that is in Texas, and we were supposed to go to court today, which we did. We went to immigration court, woke up like at 5 in the morning, and we're told that we were going to be representing 3 dads that have been detained and 1 child, and Christina has been providing a ton of training for us. And there's been a lot of things that we've seen that have been really difficult. And I think one of the frustrating things for today is that we just went to court, we went through the security line, and we're ready to do what we could for people. And we were just told that they're not going to be seen today. And so I think for other people, it might be like, okay, that's just another day. But these are families, right, that are detained. And these are little kids that are quote unquote in school, but they're actually in prisons. So while maybe for immigration court, it's not a big deal that, there are attorneys here ready to represent people. It matters for these families, and it matters that they won't have their day in court today. And they were already having a really big burden to face, right? So I don't know, Christine, if you want to share a little bit about what the process was going to look like, where you hadn't even had a chance to meet the clients.
Sure, yeah. We haven't met any of the clients in advance, and so our arguments are purely jurisdictional, that they've been waiting so long that the court shouldn't even have the authority to hear their case at this point, because some of them have been detained since May. And the rule is that the immigration court is supposed to review the case within 7 days, and at this point it's been months for some of these families, so it's a really devastating day for them to miss their day in court.
Anyone? So what do you guys feel that we can do to change things? Because it's obvious that immigration court isn't even following the laws that they have, right? So a lot of these families, if they weren't seen within 7 days or 10 days, right, getting this review, they're supposed to have like procedural relief, and immigration court isn't following that, and these families are just still detained. Kids are still detained. We were reading declarations and different things, and so we were able to get a little bit of insight into the clients, but this was very different for me. I'm not an immigration attorney, and so not meeting a client beforehand, not being able to ask them like, hey, is this really what you said? Knowing the trauma that they've been through, knowing the trauma that the kids have been through. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
I think one thing that has been really important through, I should say 2 things that have been really important through this process is flexibility and persistence. Because this is actually, I think, we were talking, the 3rd assignment that we've received since this process began. Originally we were supposed to be at Dilley, then we were reassigned to Karnes, and then we were assigned to the hearings. And then you throw in things that are very unique to immigration court in this particular process that don't necessarily fit in neatly with what we know as litigators. And so, I think being flexible in how you handle things, and I think even at this moment when we're trying to figure out, how do we best spend our time in terms of preparing and helping people, being able to be fluid, because if you come with a plan, it's not how things work. But I also think being persistent and preparing for today, something that I really started to appreciate is how all of us coming together, we had very different perspectives, but it was adding to coming up with a solution. And not just looking at how do we help these immediate families, but understanding that literally the court and the government are against us. What is our long-term vision? What is our long-term goal? And that can be really difficult when you're seeing people suffering, to be able to kind of rise above and look past the situation at a bigger picture. So I think for anybody coming, and I think just for this fight generally, persistence and flexibility is really important, because if we don't have those things, a lot of these roadblocks are going to become mountains and just seem insurmountable. So I commend all of our team. I think we've been really good. We answered the call to get up at 5 in the morning so that we could leave and be here. We came here, and even dealing with this, we are not dissuaded. We are trying to channel once we do get into court, it's the toughest fight the immigration judge has ever seen. So I'm proud of this team, and I only hope that they can be an example of other teams to come.
Yeah, and just to let everyone know, today the folks that were going to be seen in court, most of them didn't have any legal representation available. One of the volunteer attorneys was going to have a docket of 15 adults in one day. I mean, you can't prep like declarations, the motions, all of that stuff to actually competently represent someone. And our team was assigned to three dads and one child. And so again, just for those that are just joining us now, we're disappointed that these families are going to be detained another day. We were ready with motions to go on the procedure, and we were ready with the arguments, and we're disappointed, but we're not giving up, and we're going to be flexible, and we're going to keep going. Does anyone else want to add anything?
I do. So I think, coming from a non-immigration background, one of the things that you take with your clients is you have to get to know your clients. And I think when it comes to the immigration aspect of it, already in the media they dehumanize people. And it seems like the system is set up so that it continues to do that. Like, for example, here we are today. You spoke about the volunteer train that has 15 persons on his docket. We had 3 that we were going to represent today. 4. None of us had the opportunity to even get to know the client. So part of the legal representation is getting to know your client so that you can effectively represent that person before whatever the tribunal, the court, whatever the system may be. And yet this system is set up or designed so that you can't even do that. One, you don't have the access to them like you readily can in, say, criminal justice system where an attorney can just show up at any time of the day. 2, there isn't a systematic presence of a plan how to get attorneys to the persons in custody before they even get here, so that you can get to know them, get to know their story, get to know their background, do any type of research on that person or his situation. And so it just seems like this system is perpetuating a method of not seeing them as human, not treating them as equals, not treating them as people. And so I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, I think that for me, that's been really, I mean, you have a court, you have staff that are there, but it feels like it's just show, right? It feels like these people are really being set up for deportation. And it feels like, obviously, we prepped like country condition reports. We really looked at the files that we had, but without meeting that client firsthand, like when they're getting interviewed, there's like so much trauma, right? They're fleeing like conditions in their country that are very severe and dangerous, and then you're being placed in a position where you don't know who to trust, right? And so we're being told that on Wednesday we're hopefully now going to be seeing these clients for court. Tomorrow we're going to Karnes, so hopefully now we get a chance to meet the clients in person. We're going to try to drive back now to Karnes and see if we can go inside also. And we're also going to be getting our assignments that are coming up next for Wednesday and Friday, because we're going to have another load of folks that we're going to try to show up in court for. And we need all of you to call your elected representatives to let them know that this isn't okay, right? Like, we need immigration reform. We need these families to not only be reunited, but to not be imprisoned. So thank you all for watching, and we'll keep updating you as our day goes. But it looks like the team is now headed from court back to Karnes, and we'll be showing up in court on Wednesday again. And wish us luck that these families, the procedural arguments win the day.